Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stefanie Drysdale's weekly cybersecurity recap number 66. It's Friday, April 9th, 2021. Miss Stefanie, welcome.
Thank you, Chuck. How are you?
I'm doing not so well as we discussed pre-show, but we won't talk about that any further. Tell us what's happening in the cyber world.
Well, we'll try to kick off a good weekend. How about that?
That sounds like a deal.
So, lots of talk around insider threat this week. CSO Online shared an article titled Coca-Cola Trade Secret Theft Underscores Importance of Insider Threat Early Detection. So after a research engineer used basic exfiltration techniques to steal trade secrets from Coca-Cola, she wasn't caught until she attempted it again with another company. In the first instance, she uploaded it to a Google Drive. For the more sensitive info, she used her smartphone to take screenshots of the documents and avoided detection from the InfoSec team. So in the second instance, while working for Eastman Chemical, she photographed secure and restricted labs, and then prior to being discharged, uploaded company documents related to the proprietary research to an external drive. So though she denied it, two actions could have stopped or lessened the impact of the theft. One, it would have been real time alerts and processes designed to prevent sensitive data from leaving the protected environment. And two, would have been a strong anti bring your own device policy that could prohibit personal and non authorized electronic devices like smartphones from proximity to trade secrets or sensitive installations. So, as technology and deception evolves, so must your policies and protections. So, in the same vein, TechTarget shared ways to prevent insider threats that every CISO should know. So, great advice there from mapping your exposure to defining risk scenarios and escalation steps. So, be sure to catch that. CNET shared the dark web could already have your password. Here's how to check. So I'll go a step further and tell you that unfortunately, it's more probable that it does. So the article suggests that using Mozilla's Firefox Monitor and Google's password checkup to see which passwords of yours need to be updated. This is a handy way for individuals to check their own credentials, though I would caution organizations from solely relying on that or from assuming that some readily available sites are fully comprehensive. So please reach out if you're not sure if your organization is fully aware and proactive in addressing your dark web exposure. Happy to have the conversation. So this week, the Observer shared best credit monitoring services and how to monitor your credit in 2021. So with a new compromise every day, many of us are more aware of how important it is to stay on top of any changes or activity in our accounts or in our credit reports. So the article listed their picks for the 9 best services, each helpful in their own way. So for the average consumer who can make time to monitor the alerts and act quickly if needed, these may suffice, but I will offer a word of caution. If you or someone in your charge happens to be an executive with a very busy life and multiple complex accounts, I might recommend that these options be considered supplemental to an executive digital protection program that's customized to the individual subject and their unique set of circumstances. So feel free to reach out. And speaking of digital footprints, I'll be joining Darlene Fawcett from Jacobs and the ISRM Houston chapter next Thursday, along with any of you fine folks that want to register to talk about how the information that we share about ourselves and others share about us ends up online and leaves us all open to all kinds of potential problems. So it should be a great discussion. Gabriel Friedlander from Wiser shared a fun new case study video on topics like how they stole my WhatsApp account or unauthorized access, as well as their mini resource guides. Be sure to follow them or check that out for some other really helpful advice. Heath Renfro shared Krebs on Security's article about ransom gangs emailing victims' customers for leverage. So as ransomware as a service continues to evolve, we're seeing more gangs not only demanding Bitcoin in exchange for the necessary encryption keys to unlock your stolen data, but taken further, demanding an extra payment to keep them from publishing the stolen data. But increasingly, they are also reaching out to the company's customers and partners to put pressure on the company to pay the ransom and avoid exposing the victim's PII. So this presents quite a dilemma for companies that perhaps have performed the suggested offline backups, but reputationally still end up in a corner to pay the attackers. So we've seen a couple examples as recently as this week where attackers didn't even hack a company, but used an exploit to exfiltrate data. Then after monetizing their attack, decided to share it freely years later. So important to address these potential scenarios before you're in the unfortunate situation and know your plan, as well as to have your bench of trusted experts. And Troy Hunt from Have I Been Pwned announced this week that in addition to offering a way for the average person to input their emails and passwords into his site to check for their presence in breaches or compromises, he now offers the ability to search by phone number. So, prompted by recent exposures, this is a really helpful resource, though perhaps just the first step for an organization who wants to gauge their level of exposure. If you've not used it yet, definitely be sure to check it out. I'll put it in the comments for you. And that's what I have for you all this week. I hope you are well and enjoying springtime, getting your vaccines and being able to get out and about. So I hope you all are well, and I look forward to seeing you next week.